Hello humans and otherwise, I'm Addie and welcome to my blind Let's Play of Dragon Quest XI! This is a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. I've actually owned it on my Steam account for a very long time, but never got around to it. Just like most of my Steam games. I am familiar with this series, having finished 7, 8, and 9. I finished 8 and 9 twice each. But the funny thing is, I'm not really a fan of this series. I'm not saying the games are bad, they are actually quite good, I will admit. They're just not for me, it's one of those things. I much prefer Final Fantasy over this. But I've been hearing a lot recently that this game is really, really good. It's like one of the best games in Dragon Quest. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Oh no. That's my own name, right? Actually, let's do the short version. Addie. I've heard this is a really good game, and if you haven't played Dragon Quest before, it's the best one to start with. It's also kind of long, from what I've heard, but that's fine with me. And now that we've unfortunately lost the great Akira Toriyama, it's a good time to play a game with his art in it. What is that little critter? Apparently no one could see it. And overall, I really like Toriyama's art. I always have. I'm also a massive fan of Dragon Ball. Even though I haven't watched any of it in a long time. I basically stopped after Z. I don't think I ever watched all of that either. I have one small complaint about his artwork. And that's the same characters seem to appear constantly.
Here's the one. There's the mark. There's no mistaking it.
Like, it's not uncommon in games of his art to find Goku, or Bulma, or Trunks, or any other Dragon Ball character. Happens all the time. So, kind of looks like that critter was trying to find the kid who bears the mark. Must be they're the chosen one. And now monsters want to kill him. Headless Horseman, go hands. Uh-oh. Toriyama's work has influenced the hell out of things, and I really like that. His work has also influenced me quite a bit. A lot of the characters I've come up with and the story and the main story I've got, it was heavily based on his stuff. Heck, one part of the story was based on the Frieza saga for Dragon Ball Z. He influenced the hell out of me in a very positive way. The baby only has 1 HP. He was damaged by the water trumpet.
Oh my. What in heavens are you doing here? And after that awful storm, too. However did you survive? You're a jolly one. What's this? You poor
Now it looks like Grandpa Gohan saving Goku.
No need to be
I
frightened.
mean, that's not what this is, but he does kind of resemble the guy.
Safe now, little fellow.
I know the main character doesn't resemble Goku, but he does resemble another Dragon Ball character instead. I believe it's one of the androids, although I don't think I really watched that part of Dragon Ball Z, so maybe I saw a couple episodes of it.
Thanks so much, you're a lifesaver.
You mean a scarf saver?
Trust me to lose my headscarf just before the big ceremony.
Not like it's a big deal to not have it.
So it's finally here, the big day. I can't believe we're going to be climbing all the way up there.
It doesn't look too bad. Just gotta make sure you got enough of this in your stamina wheel.
Looks like Sandy's keen to lead the way. Come on, best not keep her waiting.
Basically, other than the same looking characters appearing in several games, I've got nothing bad to say about Toriyama's works. Nothing at all. I like him too much. You know, the man and your mother are waiting to see you off at the top of the steps, don't you? Don't keep them waiting, dear. Oh, and remember, if you're ever in need of some advice, or you're stuck for what to do, have a chat with folks with pretty pink speech bubbles and weatherheads like me, oh yeah. That's a classic Dragon Quest IV wall breaking. So the only NPCs that matter to talk to are the ones with the pink bubbles. Other than that, I can ignore them. Addie, seeing you and my dear Gemma here, Gemma all set for your big day, makes me proud as anything, both as a mayor and as a grandfather. I think that's supposed to be Gemma. You're not kids anymore, you know? No, you're grown up now. That means going to the tour and offering your thanks. Time you're on your way. Head up to the top. Give praise to the spirit of the land, and then come back down and tell us how you like the view. Oh, if you're ever unsure what to do next, try trusting Y and selecting Party Talk. Gemma might have some useful tips for you. Let's look at you, Addie, and my little boy, all grown up. Now be sure to look after Gemma, you hear? To think you've been inseparable since you were tiny, and here you are, about to climb the tour together. Oh, and if you ever lose your way, just follow Sandy. That dog's got more sense than any of us. Well, he's got a dog's nose, so you have better hearing and better smell, so better sense, yeah. Off you go now, dear. I know the two of you will be just fine. I'll make sure there's delicious supper waiting for you when you get back. You're not my real mom! Of course, he wouldn't know that. He was just a baby when he was found. Now, if this is like the other Dragon Quest games I've played, there's going to be stuff hidden all over the place. Like herbs and other various things hidden around, and MIDI medals, perhaps. Certainly collected lots of those in previous games.
Humble folk of cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home. That's how it goes, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. I just got here.
My granddad's been teaching me the prayer ever since I was little. He reckons the spirit of the land really does live on Cobblestone Tor, you see.
It might.
As long as I can remember, he's been preparing me for this day. The day it would finally be my turn to climb all the way up there and offer my thanks.
I mean, if this really is like a prequel to other Dragon Quest games, then I know God and the devil will certainly exist. Other spirits would too. I mean, I've encountered them in previous games, so.
I just wonder whose idea it was in the first place, sending the village's young folk on such a dangerous errand. What if I take a tumble and do myself a mischief?
You literally visit heaven in Dragon Quest IX, and you play as an angel, so...
Well, not to worry. Since you and me were born on the same day, I'm lucky enough to have a bodyguard along for the journey. Come on then. That craggy old thing won't climb its...
How do you know when he was born? You really don't. He wasn't born here. Oh, slimes! How friendly they are. How can they be a threat?
Ah! Monsters! They're coming this way.
I imagine I'm going to be grinding on metal slimes later, too, to get EXP fast. Okay. See the red border around it? Can I move? No, it's just a menu. Like, is it going to be like Grandia combat or something? You can run around? Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Got the circle around it anywhere. Yeah, you know what? The monsters seem to be moving around a bit, but they're also, like, going back to their spot. How many turns are all the slimes getting? So, although it's all fancy 3D stuff, it's just standard 2D turn-based combat. Okay, good to know.
Tough little blighters, aren't they?
I was gonna start with slimes. The slime did not drop her treasure chest, it appeared out of nowhere. Just fell out of the sky.
Crikey, I wasn't expecting that. I know they were only little, but I'd have been done for if you and Sandy hadn't been here to help me. And now we've got to go through that horrible, dingy cave. Just our luck. I'll bet you anything that's where those awful things came from.
Well, it looked like it.
Well, as long as you're with me, I've got nothing to worry about. Come on, let's get going.
Don't worry, you're with the protagonist of an RPG. He can handle himself. He has to. He's the chosen one. He's got the mark, and all the monsters wanted to kill him, so... he's gotta be the chosen one. I don't know what he's chosen to do. Autosaves, okay. Good to know the game has that. So, like, whenever I go into a new area, I suppose, it'll autosave. And if I need to stop, I can. Because I can't necessarily do a hard save whenever. I see an extra path here. So you gotta follow the dog. Well, there's a mini-map. And there's an extra path. Medicinal herb. More monsters! But, well, that just went on its own. Close enough to a monster and a small orange arrow will appear just above them. Press A and get them a weighty wallop with your weapon. Oh, one of these, okay. A group of slimes appears. It was one slime, but now there's suddenly two. Where did the other one come from?
Phew.
Another herb. I mean, at least Tears of the Kingdom is curry enough to, you know, if you see 5 enemies, it's actually 5 enemies. Like, if you see 1, it's 2. Sure, it wasn't a turn-based JRPG either, so there's a difference there.
Crikey. Crumbs.
Here, the dog just barking at it paralyzes it with fear. A dog
Tough little
barking
creatures, aren't they?
just annoys me. It doesn't make me afraid. Like, shut up, dog, you're loud. I'm trying to do other things. I don't want to hear it. One hit.
Crikey. Crumbs.
Well, you could walk over and smack the slime or something. Maybe do 1 damage to it. Unless your hand will just bounce off of it. I
Proud
don't know.
of you.
New spell learned. Frizz. If I recall correctly, since it's been a while since I played the Dragon Quest game, that's a fireball spell. The last Dragon Quest game I played was the remake of 7 on the DS, or 3DS, or whatever it was. It's been a while, like I said. So I started playing 7 on the PlayStation 1 originally, but I got stuck at one point. So I never did finish it. So I went back and finished it many years later with the remake. Another medicinal herb. I ended up, the first game I played was 7, but then I finished 8 and 9 twice each before I finished 7 for the first time. And I haven't played any of the other games. Critical! I wasn't even looking. I told myself it was too late. I was trying to look at the designs on the wall. So I can also look at it in combat. It's just the same thing over and over again, kind of like wallpaper. I don't need to worry about running around or anything. It's just standard turn-based combat. Oh, you heal, huh?
Tough little blighters, aren't they?
You got a lot to say, huh, Gemma? Gemma, rather? I know how it's pronounced. I gotta pronounce it right. At least I think so. What's down here besides a couple of pots? Here is this guy doing his best impression of Link, shattering every pot he finds. That's where he came from, right? Yeah. Follow the dog. Sandy. I mean, the dog is sand-colored, so I suppose the name makes sense. Some weird-looking enemies, but all the enemies are weird-looking in Dragon Quest. You always have been. And the enemies tend to look more silly than menacing.
Phew.
I know that sound.
Look at all this fog. Is this normal, do you think?
Have we stumbled into Silent Hill? I hope not.
Help! Help me! What? Cole? Quick! You have to help him! It's not fog at all. It's more monsters.
But is that fog a representation of the monsters, or no? It's the monsters themselves. It's like the smog clears up, and then you can see what they really look like. But no, this is what they really look like. Huh.
Crikey!
Ow!
Don't give up.
Ow! You're gonna do that? That's one thing that really annoyed me in Dragon Quest VII. It really annoyed me. Oh, come on, hit it! The ally that would heal you, but you never knew, you couldn't control them, so you never knew when they were going to heal you. So I would wait for them to heal me, and they wouldn't. Then I would use a healing item, and then they would heal me after I used the healing item already. Or healing magic or whatever. Not being able to control them causes all sorts of problems for me.
Well done!
Because like in Persona 3, for example, the original, where everyone is AI, you can somewhat control what they do. But not in Dragon Quest.
I'm sorry, Gemma. I only came up here because I thought it'd be funny to jump out and surprise you. But then those monsters appeared.
And the fog's suddenly gone, so the fog was the monsters themselves.
What in the world is going on? I never heard anything about monsters appearing on the tour before.
Well, you weren't in an RPG before either. You were just living in the world. But now that you're in an RPG, you're going to have to deal with monsters in places you didn't expect them to be.
But never mind that now. Whatever were you thinking? You could have been killed. You take Sandy and get back to the village this instant.
Yes, Gemma. Sorry, Gemma.
You saved my bacon again. I knew you were tough, but crikey, you really have grown into quite the hero.
Well, if you look at Super Smash Brothers, he is literally called the hero.
Not far to the top now.
Oh no, it's raining!
Typical. It would have to go and start raining, wouldn't it? Come on, let's get a move on.
This really is Tears of the Kingdom. Right when you want to climb, it starts raining, then you gotta wait, because you're gonna constantly slide down all the time. I went from playing Tears of the Kingdom to playing Tears of the Kingdom. I thought I was done with that game. Anything else around here? Doesn't look like it. You see an icon, move a little closer and press A. And she suddenly disappeared. Where'd she go? And then she suddenly reappears. Hey, you don't need to tell me. There'll be a sign to like, cycle along the edge. It's automatic. I don't need to do it as a mechanic. If only it was that easy to do things in real life, huh? There's a tricky obstacle ahead that you can't get past. Let someone else start it, and then you just disappear. And when they're done, you reappear right next to them. You don't actually have to. You don't have to deal with it. You can just let them handle it themselves, and you'll end up with them anyway. Yeah, this is the path through the mountains, so you don't have to worry about slipping off of it constantly.
Here we are at last.
This isn't the top, though. You can still go higher. You're in a cave.
It's such a shame about the weather. I was really looking forward to that view.
Grab your froggy sets, your froggy armor sets, climb the rest of it in the rain, and then get the view.
Well, we better say the prayer and get this ceremony over with, eh? What was that?
Sounds like a bird.
Help! Help me! Help! Help!
Oh, don't climb things in the rain! Chosen One powers activate! And that's why you don't wear metal equipment in the thunderstorm.
Wow! That great big flash of lightning. It was almost like you made it happen.
He did, but I'm not sure he knows how he did. And he's obviously going to be a silent protagonist, so he's never going to tell you either.
Look! The mark on your hand! Huh? Oh, it stopped. Well, we can worry about that later. All I know is that you saved me yet again. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, if he wasn't around, this
We
game
really
wouldn't have
had
taken
better be finishing up
place.
this ceremony.
So you'd probably be better off. Because this great evil, or whatever it's going to be, never would have come around.
Humble folk of cobblestone, great land spirits, hearth and home.
Because there never would have been a chosen one to deal with it.
Lift your voices up in prayer, sing it across all our drear. Blessed are we since days of yore, let it be so forevermore. Wow! Look!
Either weather is really weird in this world, or prayer actually worked. And knowing this series, it might be that prayer actually worked.
It just goes on and on and on.
That's the world for you. It's big.
Whoever dreamed up this ceremony must have had this in mind. They wanted to show us how huge our world really is. Well, that's it. It's all over and now we're grown-ups. Should we head down and tell Grandad and everyone? They'll all be waiting for us at the bottom.
You'd be grown-ups anyway? It's just a ceremony? This tradition type stuff? Like I said, it's probably just to get you to look at the world and say, oh, look how big this is. It is a nice view, though. It's just like nothing but mountains all over the place. I better see that like on the world map. Nothing but mountains in this area. You shouldn't be able to go that way at all because there's nothing but mountains. Addie and Gemma make their way back to the bottom of the tour. They're still using a lot of the same jingles and sound effects from the games I've played. Would you allow me to save my game? Because I know you save at churches. When the lightning struck the tower, I must confess that I feared for your safety, but it seems you escaped unharmed. Truly, you must give thanks to the spirit of the land who watches over us all. Nope. Still gotta go to a church, huh?
We're back safe and sound, Grandad.
Indeed you are, my dear. Thank the spirits for that. When we saw lightning striking up there, we got a little worried, I have to tell you.
And he explains what happened on the top of the tour.
Well, I never. Sounds like it's nothing short of a miracle that you made it back in one piece. Well, there's no doubt about it, the spirit of the land was watching over you. Now tell me, my dear, how was the view from the top?
It was wonderful. I saw the sea stretch into the horizon and the sunlight playing on the water and... Oh, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
You're certainly not seeing anything right now. Your eyes are closed.
You're true Cobblestonians now. Only we have the pleasure of looking out over the world of Erdrea in such breathtaking fashion, you know.
Except for, anything that can fly, like maybe the titular dragon in the Dragon Quest?
You're still young, and the day may yet come when you decide to leave Cobblestone behind. I hope our little ceremony has opened your eyes to a little of what may await you out there.
There's going to be a lot we're going to find awaits us out there, considering this is the beginning of the JRPG. We're going to have to leave Cobblestone.
Now, it's high time we were heading back. I'm sure your mother is eager to hear how things went, young man. Don't keep poor Amber in suspense.
Look at the eye difference. Everyone else has got like these big eyes, and his are just tiny.
Come on, you. Home time.
There's the church. Achievements! The ceremony is all done. Congratulations! Now, don't tell me you've forgotten where you live and all the excitement. Just follow the paving stones. You'll soon find your way back. Oh, you must be tired of be forgetting that. You should head home and put your feet up. What if I want to put my feet down? Oh, follow the paving stones. Okay then. That looks like a shop of some sort. I didn't expect the proper conversation to happen here. I can't buy anything yet. Don't have much money anyway. That's Jeepers. What kind of equipment do I even have with me right now? Plain clothes, yeah. Oh. It's the main character's outfit from Dragon Quest VIII. It actually increases my stats, too. Why do I have that? Well, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna use that stuff. And a weapon, too. Yeah, I'll just stick with the basic stuff. I mean, I'll end up replacing that gear very quickly anyway. Like, when I can buy gear, I'll probably, compare the gear and see if I need that stuff instead. See which one's better. But of course that Dragon Quest VIII gear will just end up being replaced very quickly.
Oh! Here's my little soldier. Well, not so little anymore. I've heard all about your big adventure. Look at you, all grown up.
And he was growing up before he went there? There's no difference?
I hope he wasn't too much of a bother, Gemma dear.
Of course not. Quite the opposite, in fact. You would have been proud of him. We got attacked by a monster at the top of the tour, and I ended up hanging onto the edge of the cliff by my fingertips. I thought I was done for. But you'll never guess what happened next. That mark on his hand suddenly lit up, and a bolt of lightning hit the monster.
What did you say? That funny little mark? Lightning flying about the place? Goodness me.
She knows what this means.
Here I was hoping he'd turn out nice and ordinary, but it seems his grandfather was right all along. Well, I've been putting this off for long enough now. You and me need to have a little talk. Here. This belongs to you.
You tell him you're not his real mom?
Your grandfather asked me to give you it once you'd come of age and climbed the tour.
I'd say his biological mom. You were the one who raised him, so for all intents and purposes, you are his mom.
The truth is, there's something I've been keeping a secret all these years. Something I've never told another soul in the village. It's... how can I put this now? Well, he said you're the reincarnation of the Luminary.
What?
Oh, don't ask me what the old fool meant, dear. I haven't got the foggiest. All I know is that your grandfather said you had a special destiny, and that there was something you had to do.
Here's the chosen one trope kicks in.
He said that when you came of age, you were to head north to the capital, up there in Heliodor, and show that necklace thingy to the king. He seemed to think that if you did that, all would become clear. Clear as mud, I shouldn't wonder. Anyway, the long and short of it is that if you want to find out what this is all about, you'll have to leave Cobblestone and head over to Heliodor.
Well, I guess that's where we're going.
Crikey.
Well, I can't stop you leaving, I'm sure, but you won't be marching on an empty stomach. Come on, dinner.
Reincarnation of the Luminary, whoever that is. Must be a big thing. Addie tries his hardest to sleep, but he's too confused by everything he's learned and excited about his upcoming trip. Eventually... 10 different types of item. Alright, let's head outside then, I guess. Oh, that's a map. I wanted to swing my sword at them and cause a cuckoo storm. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the whole chosen one thing. I mean, I like Zelda, and Zelda does it all the freaking time. It's always Link, and he's always the chosen one. Only he can wield the Master Sword and all that stuff, Triforce of Courage. It's all about how they present it, though, I suppose, really. And a lot of times in games, the chosen one trope isn't presented all that well. We'll see how it works in this one. Well, I guess I'll talk to you. I was just following the path.
Oh, can't sleep either, eh? You remember this tree, don't you? I got my scarf stuck in it all those years ago. There I was, crying like mad, and there you were, running round trying to help me get it down.
It's just a scarf. It shouldn't be that important, really, unless it, has sentimental value. In that case, of course, you'd really want to get it back.
Some things never change, eh? You know, I always imagined we'd spend our whole lives right here in Cobblestone. That's why I was so surprised by what your mum said today. All that stuff about you being the Luminary, that reincarnation thing.
Yeah, I want to know about the Luminary. It's obviously the story's going to focus on that.
I remember the story my granddad told me.
One day that moon's going to come down and Bahamut's going to come out of it.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, the world was terrorized by a horrible monster. But then, when it was all over, the Luminary turned into a star. And he's been watching over us from up in the heavens ever since.
Although, it'd be nice if I pronounced names properly, Bahamut.
That's his star, right there.
Luminary, yeah, saved the world, and now he's a star. Knowing this series, it might be true.
How can you be the Luminary too? I just don't get it. I know. That's what you're going to Heliodor to find out. I understand, really I do. Listen, we should both be getting back. Everyone will be wondering where we've got to. Goodbye, old friend.
Oh. feel bad for her. Person she's known her whole life, she grew up with him, and now he's got to go, and she can't come with him. Exhausted after his long day, Addie finally falls into a restless slumber. Then morning comes. Yeah, that's gotta hit her pretty hard, understandably so. Not first person, he must look different. Yep.
Well, just look at you. You don't scrub up too bad, you know. Only wish your grandfather were here to see you. You won't forget him, will you? He was a fine, upstanding man, the pride of the village. You could do worse than try to be like him. Well, however you turn out, I'm sure you'll find a way to overcome whatever lies ahead. A mother knows these things. Oh, by the way, I've popped a little money I'd saved for a rainy day in your pack. Don't spend it all at once.
I probably will.
Why don't you visit the village shop before you head off to Heliodor? You'll need some supplies for your big adventure. But don't take too long. The whole village is turning out to wave you off.
Can you just leave? You don't have to make a big deal out of it. We close. Yeah, really should check this stuff before leaving. This is Dragon Quest, and I'll look at good cupboards and other things is what you do, because you always find stuff. And finding plain clothes all over the place is very common, if I recall correctly. But the thing I mainly want to find is mini medals, because those rewards are always useful. If they're even in this game. I'll see why they wouldn't be. They're always in the game. I see the shop on the map. Let's go there. Okay, real quick. Yep, auto run, huh? What's the wrong thing to go to my menu? Let's equip this stuff. It actually changes his model. Oh yeah, and two-handed sword too. Yeah, let's equip this stuff, and then see if the shop has anything better than this. Leaving good old cobblestone, are you? Well, make sure you've got all the essentials before you set off. Well, I don't think I'm gonna need that. Pot lid increases defense. He's got a two-handed sword though, so we can't actually equip that. So let's leave that for now. Okay, that's... But the other one increased other stats too, not just defense, so yeah, let's... Yeah, okay. The equipment I start with is better. Let's get some antidotes. Oh, okay, so... Yeah, character inventories. Each person can only hold so many items. And you have to have it with that character in order to use it. I think the other Dragon Quest games are like that too, I'm not sure. But it's a system I'm all too familiar with, so I got no problem with it. Now we must, well, take care of this. So you are setting out into the world, my child. Perhaps a little prayer before you depart? Yes. Save! Which reminds me of a video game magazine years ago when Dragon Quest VII was actually coming out. It showed a picture of the person, it was a screenshot in the magazine of the person saving their game, and the caption was, "This gives new meaning to your game being saved," because you're literally saving it at a church. Imagine one of those really loud apocalyptic preachers in the back. "Your game has been saved!" No, we will not continue the adventure at this point. We're going to stop here. It's been long enough for this episode. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time! If you enjoyed my video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And if for whatever reason you want to talk to me, you can find me on Discord in a link in the description.